Hey, what's up guys? This is me, Nisi of Spoil Me Nisi, back with another video. So today I wanted to do my reaction to the Tina documentary on HBO Max. Her documentary came out on March 27th. So if you haven't already seen it, please keep in mind that this video is going to have some spoilers. So let's get into it. So the Tina Turner documentary I felt was very good. Now growing up, my family, they weren't like really big Tina Turner fans. I knew about Tina Turner, but the height of Tina Turner's career happened before I was born. So I don't have like experience with parents who were fans, or in my household we listened to a lot of different music, but we didn't listen to a whole lot of Tina Turner. So what I do know about her is what I saw from the Tina Turner movie, and the little bit that my parents spoke about her, and the little bit that I saw her on TV. By the time I was born, I believe at that point she was already doing rock and roll, and in my household we listened to more R&B, jazz, country music at times, pop music, hip hop of course, and some like very, very light rock and roll in my household. So yeah, I don't have, Tina Turner's music didn't have much of a presence in my household. But with that being said, I did enjoy this documentary. I did a lot of comparing the documentary to the movie, and it's interesting that there were some inconsistencies when it came to her documentary and to the movie. A few inconsistencies in it all. So I like how the first part of the documentary shed light on her relationship with Ike Turner. God rest his soul. I believe he passed away some time ago. Of course it's a documentary, so it doesn't get as graphic as the movie does. But she does, describe very graphic scenarios between her and Ike. I thought that was really good about the documentary as well. And being that the movie came out and a lot of people that are interested in the documentary have seen the movie, you can kind of picture all of this happening that she would discuss with him. What I thought was very graphic that Tina Turner described in the documentary was that she claims that he would beat her and then sexually have his way with her afterwards, her words from the documentary. And I thought that was like pretty crazy. They didn't show that in the movie, of course. Thankfully they didn't. There was one rape scene in the movie and it was like gut-wrenching. But hearing her describe that in the documentary was very, very messed up and very graphic. So yeah, she Tina Turner touches on like her relationship with Ike, and they show like all the scenes like with them dancing and singing and performing, but then behind the scenes it was a whole other story. A lot of abuse going on, a lot of mental abuse. A ton of physical abuse, even stuff that the kids witnessed, and spiritual abuse. Something that I picked up on in the movie is that, she said that he would beat her a lot, abuse her physically, and she was abused mentally because, as you can tell, she didn't want to leave him at first. She does describe in the documentary how she didn't want to see anything happen to him. She didn't want to go to the police, so she did kind of have that like that Stockholm syndrome, going on there. But then one thing I also noticed in the documentary is that she mentions that he brought in like this Buddhist lady to introduce her to Buddhism. And I thought that was really interesting because, one, in the movie, it shows that her friend, who was once her background dancer, was the one that introduced her to Buddhism. But in the documentary, apparently Ike was the one that introduced her because he brought the Buddhist lady to her to teach her the chants and stuff like that. So that was one inconsistency that I caught with the documentary and the movie. And then one thing that I kind of realized in that particular scene of the documentary is that not only was she broken down emotionally and physically, but behind the scenes she was also broken down spiritually as well. It almost seems as though she was completely broken, and then she was steered away from God. She does describe that she grew up in the church, she grew up Christian, and all of that stuff. But then during that part of her career, she doesn't really talk about that really having a presence. Who knows if it did? I'm not 100% sure. But he also introduced her to, another religion or belief system. So I did think that was a little interesting as well. But moving on from that. So I did enjoy, seeing that, and it also makes you realize that, even with a lot of our favorite celebrities that we have right now, their lives might seem so perfect and all of this stuff, but you really never know what's going on behind the scene, because back then when Tina Turner was famous, they didn't have the Twitters and the Instagrams, and they didn't have all that stuff where people used to air out, their dirty laundry or, stuff like that. They didn't have any of that, so imagine if all that stuff didn't agree today. A lot of stuff that we know about celebrities right now, we wouldn't even know, so it really makes you wonder, what other people are going through behind the scenes as well. But I guess we'll know one day when they make a documentary. One thing that I liked about seeing the beginning of Tina Turner's career before she went rock and roll is seeing how a lot of celebrities Beyonce as the main one, a lot of her costumes and her dance moves, it seems like a lot of them were influenced by Tina Turner. And I know years ago when I have seen Beyonce interviews and things like that, she did say it and she didn't lie. There are a lot of similarities between Tina Turner and Beyonce, so I do think that that's pretty cool about the documentary. So then the documentary goes on into after she divorced Ike and how her life changed. She cut her hair, she started wearing shorter dresses, and she went rock and roll. And you kind of see that Tina Turner was having a really good time. She did rock, she fell in love later on in life, and one interesting thing to consider about the later part of Tina Turner's career when she went rock and roll, she wasn't a young woman anymore. She was well into her 50s. So when she was making all of those rock songs that we like in this picture, she wasn't in her 20s and 30s. She was older than that at this point. So that right there was really an inspiration, because it's that kind of reminds people that, you might not be in your 20s, no, you might not be in your 30s, but as long as you're alive, as long as God breathes air into your lungs, you can right whatever wrongs you made, and you can make up forever for, whatever happened in your life, and your best days can still be ahead of you, because, as you can see with Tina Turner, that was her story there. Things didn't get really good until she, got older. So I like that aspect of her documentary. But all in all, if you haven't seen her documentary, I suggest you watch it. Tina Turner seems really fun. You can tell that after she divorced Ike and she moved on to rock, all of her costumes were fun. She had a lot of fun stuff going on. She seemed like a different person, really. So it is really nice. I'm seeing that in the documentary. Very, very nice. If I had to rate this from a scale of 1 to 10, because I always have to rate stuff, I certainly would rate this documentary a 9. I would certainly give it a 9. I wouldn't rate it completely a 10. Just because, something would have to really blow me away for me to say, 10 out of 10, But yeah, I thought the documentary was really nice, very informative, and there goes the beautiful Tina Turner today, or I guess in 2019 when this was made. So yeah, I had a lot of fun watching this. I watched it with my family. Definitely watch it if you haven't done so already. But that's it for this video. If you haven't already done so, please make sure you like and subscribe. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video, and hit the notification button so that you'll be notified when I make more videos, which more are coming up. And until next time, see ya. Peace.